Of course, these grifters, and this is left and right, these grifters are being disingenuous and using black grief to make money. That's it. So let's go ahead and see what Miss Candace Owens had to say about this. Okay. See, as you see, I couldn't even make it through this whole video. I couldn't even make it.
Where in the world, because I wore a t-shirt alongside Kanye West, which read White Lives Matter. And God forbid you wear a t-shirt that says White Lives Matter. We wore this for his Yeezy Season 9 fashion show here in Paris. And people are upset. They're very upset about that. They're going, why on earth? How could you? How dare you wear this shirt? How dare you make a mockery of the BLM movement? In addition to this, in case you missed it on...
So now she did way too much, okay? When you're wearing something that gets people to ask questions, and she started off right, said, why would you wear that? You know what I'm saying? Just like if you were wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt, or you had a flag, or you had a sticker, it should intrigue people to be like, why are you wearing that? Which is good. That's the reason why people have tattoos on their neck, on their hands, because they 9 times out of 10 they want you to approach them and ask them questions, because people like to talk. If you haven't noticed already, people like to talk. You know what I'm saying? So she was right there. She was correct that people were going to ask her, why are you wearing the White Lives Matter shirt? And if she took a couple of minutes to critique information and mix it in with some truth and stats and statistics, then maybe she could have made a good point. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know everything about everybody's situation. She could have taught people things, but let's listen to what she had to say.
Kanye West's Instagram page, he wrote this: everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over. You're welcome. That is the...
Is that it? Is that all that you wanted to tell people? You wore a White Lives Matter shirt to say Black Lives Matter organization was a scam. I hate to break it to you, but I work with a whole bunch of brothers. You know what I'm saying? I grew up where it's like 90% black folks. I interact with black folks, Mexican folks, white folks all the time. I think we all understand that organizations like Black Lives Matter, the organizations or the charity, whatever they want to call themselves, they scam people. And not just them, a whole bunch of companies. They use black grief whenever something bad happens. Either you're going to take a radical position to make money from people who genuinely don't like non-white people, or you're going to suck up to black people and put Black Lives Matter on your shoe, on a Nike shoe, and sell it for $1,000. Like it's on both sides. You know what I'm saying? So let's not pretend like it's just Black Lives Matter organization that is stealing from people, that's being disingenuous, that's lying to people and using people to financial gain, essentially. You know what I'm saying? But of course, it's not the organization that we're attached to. It's the actual phrase, Black Lives Matter. That's how we feel. An organization doesn't have to tell me that. That came out of a genuine uprising. They came out of a genuine protest. And of course, people hijacked it for their personal gain, but they're just stuck to the whole Black Lives Matter organization. It's like, get off of it. We already know they're shady, just like every other organization out there. So let's see if she got something to say.
The only response, or the only thing that he has said publicly about wearing the t-shirt. And you obviously know, if you're watching this, where I stand on the Black Lives Matter movement. In fact, I'm doing an entire documentary to expose the fraudulent nature of that movement.
Yeah, she's going to take the time and tell people what most people already know. But go ahead.
And the organization that stood behind it and benefited billions and billions of dollars because they elicited elicited Black grief. They sold Black people a concept of their oppression. They used poorer Black Americans as a...
Why is she making it seem like the Black Lives Matter organization is teaching people what they already know? I'm only 35 years old. I just started learning my history, learning what happened around the world, learning perspectives and reading books on where it all began, where we all come from. Why is she making it seem like Black Lives Matter organization is teaching people something they don't know? You may not even be from this country, but you already kind of have an idea on what went down. But she's putting all this onto one organization. It doesn't make stupid. It doesn't make sense. American politics are pretty stupid. Yes, it is not pretty stupid. It's extremely stupid. And it only benefits the people who have money. That's simple. If you want to simplify American politics, it only benefits people, the what 3%, 2% of the richest people in America. It only benefits them. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad to not be in the US. Hey, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I got to live smack dab in the middle of America. And that's why I feel that it's important that people understand what's going on around them and not just take it, because we don't have to. You know what I'm saying? We built this country. And when I say we, I mean it in two senses. We, as in Black folks back in the day, my ancestors built this country from just about every aspect of it. And when I say we built this country, my tax money goes to everything that I utilize around me. You know what I'm saying? I don't see just the government using just their free time to do everything. Nah. This is our country. But you're right. You are 100% right.
A marketing firm for their organization. And where did that money go? Well, certainly not to Black America. So I had this wonderful thing this morning, this wonderful experience, and I'll tell you why it was wonderful. I had breakfast with Ye at his hotel, and it was wonderful because it was one of those moments where I realized how far I've come from where I was. The first time that I ever came to Paris.
All right. So yeah, she's just gonna talk about how she met Kanye West and how she started from no. It was like, bruh, I don't really care.
And I remember I was so upset with Ye West, and we went to another magazine, and he said, "I perform for an audience of one, and that's God." I loved that.
Okay, great job.
Utopia is possible, for it not who we are being led by, which of course leads me to think about Black Lives Matter again, and these people who claim to be leaders and knew that what they were doing was further dividing the masses. I mean, the whole idea here via the Black Lives Matter movement was to make sure that Black people saw oppression and saw white supremacy surrounding them, and convincing them that if they leaned into this narrative, that somehow their lives would be better. It was a mirage. Actually, that's a word that Ye used during the breakfast too. It was basically a mirage, right? This idea that somehow all we needed to do was burn down our own neighborhoods. All we needed to do.
Okay, first off, gotta stop her, okay? First off, we don't burn down our own neighborhoods. There's nothing we own around here. If I burnt down King Supers in my neighborhood, that's not my King Supers. So therefore, guess who's going to be after me? The policia. You know what I'm saying? If I tried to burn down my apartment complex, guess what? I'm going to get in trouble because this is not mine. We don't own nothing around here. So I don't understand what she's saying. Just burn down our own communities. This is not our community. We had one in Tulsa. It was called Black Wall Street. Now I might have to educate some people here, but that was ours. And guess what? It was burnt down for us. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to pause it, throw in some information right there, because yeah, it's just too much weird talking, man. It's just crazy.
It was have our youth wearing a George Floyd t-shirts. All we needed to do was loot Targets and loot these expensive stores, and somehow justice would be delivered.
Okay. Why do you think they did that though? That's what I don't understand. She's just making a point, a factual point. Yeah, people were looting Targets and Macy's and probably a lot of other expensive places. I mean, if I had to loot, I would loot something like worth it. I wouldn't go to Target. But why do you think they were doing that? Why do you think people were wearing George Floyd shirts and Black Lives Matter shirts? Now, if you really think about it, it's sad because we're put into a position, and when I say we, I'm not just talking about black folks. I'm just talking about 90% of middle to poor class people here in America. That's all we can do is wear t-shirts to express some sort of justice that needs to be served. That's all we can do. All we can do is tweet on Twitter, do a Facebook post. Hell, even loot a couple places. That's all. What do you think people, when they feel oppressed, when they feel like there's nobody listening, you think we're just going to sit at home and just like start knitting or something? People are going to get upset. You know what I'm saying? Some people are a little bit more composed than others. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do no looting. I did some tweeting. That's all I could really do. You know what I'm saying? But people, when you push them into a corner far enough, they're going to act out. You know what I'm saying? And we know the history of police here in America. It's not like we have a ironclad justice system that if a police acts out of line, he's going to get dealt with. We already know the odds of that happening. That's why people act out. But no, she doesn't want to explain that. She just wants to explain, just throwing some information to kind of foster up what she's about to say and foster up what her perspective is, which is a disingenuous perspective. But let's continue.
And of course it wasn't. There is a deep irony and a sad irony when you consider that wearing a t-shirt has led such a tremor throughout the world, right? A t-shirt that says White Lives Matter, which should be implied, right? White Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Asian Lives Matter. It should be implied.
Okay. It should be applied. Well, why didn't you just wear a shirt that says All Lives Matter? If you wear a shirt that says I love hot dogs, why would I imply that you also love hamburgers? I'm just going to read exactly what your shirt says. I love hot dogs. I'm going to think this dude loves hot dogs. That's it. So if you're wearing a shirt that says White Lives Matter, I'm just going to look at that and be like, you believe white lives matter. I'm not going to just assume that you are including Asian lives. Why would I assume that? And then when I ask you, why are you wearing a White Lives Matter shirt? And your only response is, well, you wore a shirt that said Black Lives Matter. It's like, this is your protest for our protest. Really, we don't want to talk about substantive things. We just want to have a t-shirt contest. Ah, man, I promise you.
Yet people are angry and they are being vicious online because they can't believe that we have the audacity to detract from the movement, which is a lie, right? Black Lives Matter. If Black Lives...
Why is she stuck on equating the organization that, yes, is taking advantage of people who are hurting, who are putting their hope into these people to make a change? She's right about that. But that still doesn't negate the fact that people, black people, still feel like they have to say Black Lives Matter. Now, of course, I'm assuming people know why people are saying Black Lives Matter, and it's because, just real quick, we feel as if our lives are not being valued equally upon everybody else. And this history proves it. You know what I'm saying? We just feel like we need to let people know that Black lives also value too. And then if you ask us, well, don't all lives matter? Then someone who has a couple of brain cells will say, yes, they do. But I'm black, and this is all that I see right here. Now, if you want to wear a shirt that says Mexican lives matter, and then you have some information to back that up and to kind of persuade people to understand what's going on, then go for it. But if you're just wearing a shirt that says Mexican lives matter, Asian lives matter, white lives matter, just to be an asshole, that doesn't make any sense to me. Just to antagonize people doesn't make sense to me. Because now you're, once again, which is probably my favorite word throughout this video, disingenuous. And you're being a grifter. You're just doing this just to make some money, just to get some clicks, just to stay relevant. That's all you're doing.
Matter than some of these things that we have been talking about on this show, things I've been talking about throughout my entire political career, would be getting attention.
I haven't noticed it.
Not the t-shirt, right? Not the t-shirt, but these actual statistics that matter. And here are just a few of them.
Okay, before she gets into it, why is she confused that people are ignoring what she really wants to say by a gesture that she did to get that attention? She wore a White Lives Matter shirt because she knew she was going to get attention. She probably already had this pre-recorded. You know what I'm saying? She already had an idea that she was going to make this video. One. But when Colin Kaepernick kneels during football games to bring attention to the injustices that's happened to black folks, everybody's just focused on him kneeling during the national anthem. They drowned out the importance of why he was kneeling, and now all of a sudden we're just focused on him kneeling. Why is she so surprised? Maybe I should tell her and Kanye West like they told Colin Kaepernick, you should have figured a better way to do that. That's what they told Colin Kaepernick, even though he did discuss this with a Marine or someone of that nature. They told him to kneel, but maybe Candace Owens and Kanye West should have took a different approach about this situation. If that was the true point to that, then maybe they should have went a different approach about that. You said, what do you think about fascism? Exactly what a sane person would think about it. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be tolerated. It's out there, and if you have a voice or if you have an opportunity to combat it, then I mean, go for it. You know what I'm saying? Is wrong with it? What is wrong with what? Fascism? Are you asking what's wrong with fascism?
117,626 black children were killed by surgical abortion in the United States in 2018, right? Those are recent statistics. Just so we are clear, abortion in America has contributed to the greatest decline in black population since the first black slaves arrived. You will hear people often talk about lynching. This is like a new thing. They like neoliberalism. They could talk about lynching.
And you say, I am a fascist. Well, to sum it all up, I don't believe people should be ruled by one person. Okay. Not one person should have all the power. Not even a small group of people should have all the power. Let me try to, because maybe I believe it's the best system for the people. Well, asking Google, because I love asking Google. That's probably one of the best, easiest way to get some information. Fascism, a way of organizing a society in which a government ruled by a dictator controls the lives of the people, in which people are not allowed to disagree with the government. Now, if Google can explain that, in that term, something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, if one person, yeah, corporatism, capitalism, I'm not for it. Not for it.
And they compare everything to lynchings. It's just like being lynched. Well, for your reference, you should know that 4,467 people in the United States were victims of lynchings from 1883 to 1941. 3,265 of those people were Black. And you keep talking about lynching as this horrific thing that's happened in the past, right? And yet when you say to people...
All right, before I answer your question, so she just wanted to make a point that
from 1883 to 1941, 3,265 of those people were Black. And you keep talking about lynching as this horrific thing that's happened in...
First off, lynching was a horrific thing, okay? And her overall point is, if Black lives truly matters, then why all the senseless killings? You know what I'm saying? The one thing that a lot of people like to say is Black on Black crime. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, homie, I'm gonna get to you. But I do record this live stream. I cut it up and post it on YouTube. So if people are watching this on YouTube, I don't want them to like want to watch this video and then, you know, we're talking about something, you know, different from what we're talking about. But trust me, I'm gonna get to you right after, you know, this segment here. But just because Black people say Black lives matter doesn't mean we're specifically saying it doesn't matter when we kill each other, but it matters when a cop kills a Black person. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would someone assume that? If someone genuinely feels like, hey, Black lives matter, we also mean everything else. Anything that can hurt, can kill, can put in a bad position of a Black life and really any life is wrong. On both sides. I don't care who's doing it. And it's not just police. It's everybody. It's my neighbors. It's my coworkers. It's my friends. Everybody who threatens a life is not good for that life. It's that simple. I don't know why she's trying to divide the two. If someone says Black lives matter, we also mean with everything else. But let's listen to what she got to say.
In the past, right? And yet when you say to people today that 20 million Black infants were aborted, they don't even blink an eye. They don't even bat an eyelash. I don't know, less than batting an eyelash. They tell those same Black people that they need to be outraged when a Planned Parenthood clinic shuts down. 20 million. When you talk about people that are killed in the millions, when you talk about the Jewish Holocaust, when you talk about...
Okay, first off, I don't know if she's spoken to every Black person here in America, but like I said, I done talked to a lot of Black folks. Nobody is saying go out there and kill your Black kids. I mean, Nas said it in one of his songs, you know, like women, take care of your wombs. We need warriors soon sent from the stars, sun, and the moon. You know what I'm saying? Like, we understand. Now, when women do have abortions, I find it unfortunate. But, I mean, I can't force people to do what I want them to do. I mean, hence to the young man watching, fascists, you know what I'm saying? I can't make people do what they want. And I wouldn't want to be in that position. Because what if I'm wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, then I'm forcing my wrong perspective on everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a Christian. I wish God could touch the brains of all these people and be like, hey, don't do that. There's another way around. But unfortunately, I can't. I'm not God. And I wouldn't want to, because that seems like it's a hard job. But back to her point, Black folks aren't cheering on for abortions. I have no idea what reality she's living in. Like I said, I'm 35 years old. I've been around black folks my whole life. And I haven't seen a parade party for having abortions. Now, does it happen? Yes. Is it sad? It is extremely sad. And I wish we would put money into these areas where and try to figure out why these women are having abortions. Because it's not just because, oh, they're just sleeping around and, oh, they got pregnant, so they just want to get rid of it. I looked at the statistics. It's very low. People are not just having abortions just to have it because they're bored. That's not how it works. It's other things in their lives, such as not ready for it, financially not ready for it, ashamed of themselves, rape, you know what I'm saying? Being controlled. It's a whole, and shout out to the fascist homie once again. It's a whole bunch of things that the government can assist on. You know what I'm saying? Making more opportunities instead of just, oh, you're pregnant. It's just abortion. Adoption. Make it easier. You know what I'm saying? If a young woman doesn't have the financial backing for it, maybe we should make that easier for them. Maybe. I don't know. But she just saying, oh, black folks just love when people have abortions. Like who are you telling this to? Who are you trying to convince that black people just love having abortions? I don't get it.
About the Rwandan Holocaust. People are, oh my gosh. Oh my, this is horrible. Of course, because it is horrible. But for whatever reason, since we have convinced ourselves to genocide our own offspring, nobody cares. Nobody cares. They don't bat an eyelash. In fact, they tell you that it is your right. So think about that.
Well, it is your right. And, you know, definitely after this, I'm going to answer your question. And I think she's almost kind of even hinting like we need a fascist type system where we can make people do as I wilt. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, it's like you make your own decisions. You're grown enough. But definitely hold that thought. I'm gonna definitely get back to you because I'm not gonna be able to finish your video because it's just a whole bunch of nonsense. But I'm gonna try my best. Try my best.
Black babies, and yet a T-shirt is what got attention last night. In 2012, more black babies were killed by abortion in New York City than were born. Imagine that, your abortion rate being higher than your live birth rate in a city. And they celebrate it. Do you remember notoriously the governor lit up the city pink when they talked about expanding abortion rights, expanding the black genocide, light up the skyscrapers pink. It is a win. A win for who, though, is the question. A win for who? 79% of Planned Parenthood abortion facilities are located within walking distance.
Okay, so she just spending all her time talking about abortion and specifically black abortion. And I'm just hoping she's going to have solutions. I'm hoping she's going to have statistical, realistic solutions for these things instead of just saying, hey, vote Republican. Nah, because from what I see, Republicans don't care either. She's not going to say vote for, because I need to give people like this a chance to hopefully educate me on something, because all I'm hearing is, oh, you say Black Lives Matter. Well, look at the list of what you guys are doing wrong. So I guess Black lives don't matter. That seems to be where she's hinting at, is like, oh, you guys are killing yourself, so why should we care? That's all I'm hearing.
Of neighborhoods that have a higher proportion of Latina and black women. But that's not the only thing that's killing black America, literally. We also know obesity is killing black America. I wish, you know what we should have done?
Why?
We should have put
why is obesity killing black Americans? Let me just explain to you how things work here. Because one, food is already expensive. Okay? Healthy or not, food is already expensive. So if unhealthy food is the best deals that we can get because we're working check to check. You know what I'm saying? We're doing our 40, 50 hours. Bills is already sky high. You know what I'm saying? You want me to go to Whole Foods and spend like $400-$500 on like 3-4 meals? That's not realistic. If when it comes to the point that fast food, a meal at a fast food place is just as expensive as a meal going to King Soopers, going to Walmart, and getting a single meal to feed a family of, 4 or 5 people, it's the same amount or even sometimes more expensive, we have a problem. Where do you think people are going to get their food? Hey, we can't splurge at Whole Foods and all these other expensive places I'm pretty sure I haven't heard of because it's too expensive. I got to make this money stretch. You know what I'm saying? So if all I can do is get pasta and ground beef and a whole bunch of chicken, guess what? That's what I got to use to survive. You guys are already cutting food stamps for people. Demonizing people being on welfare and getting food assistance, but Brett Favre can steal millions of dollars from them. Hint, hint. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. It's weird to me how someone can just literally look at a camera and knowingly tell lies like this.
A White Lives Matter t-shirt on Lizzo, maybe we could have gotten a lot of attention about obesity and how it's actually killing Black Americans. Obesity is the #1 killer in America, okay? I know Black Lives Matter told you it was police shootings, right? It made you think that thousands of Black men were dying at the hands of police. No, absolutely not. I think
I think it's the difference between someone having a heart attack or dying of poor health compared to a police officer taking somebody's life. Bro, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not the smartest guy out there. You know what I'm saying? I just graduated high school. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why this is so hard to understand. I think somebody, first off, they wouldn't want to die. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to die. But I don't want to die by someone taking my life. I have no opportunity to combat that. If I run, I get shot. If I try to fight this officer because he's being a little aggressive, guess what? He's gonna shoot me and get an award for it. You know what I'm saying? If I run, I get shot. If I argue, if I talk too loud, I get shot. If I reach for my wallet in my back pocket, I get shot. What are you talking about? How is that the same as someone feeding themselves garbage food because that's all they're providing us? And we take that food in and it damages our health. Maybe that person, wake up one day and be like, nah, this ain't right. Let me do some cardio. I may not be able to afford a gym pass, but let me lift some water jugs. That's what I do here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gives that person an opportunity to do better. But if a cop just takes somebody's life, there's no way around that. There's no second chances. There's no redo button. There's no reset the game. There's none of that. Someone is taking your life without you even having a choice. But someone can have a choice to do better with their health, to eat better, to work out. They have that opportunity, maybe, if our government gets their stuff together. But once again, these idiots who have millions of views and millions of subscribers, they get all the attention. But common sense folks like myself, Michael Eric Dyson, we have Cornel West, like folks like that don't get attention because they're spitting facts all the time. They don't have time to do the spectacle, do something stupid on TV and hopefully get some attention. Nah, we don't do that. We can't lower the bar like that.
In the year 2020, was it 9 unarmed Black men were killed by police?
9 too many.
But obesity is killing people at a very high rate, and Black women have the highest rates of obesity. It's the #1 killer, and of course, we sit at the top of it. Black women, 56.9% of us are classified as obese.
Now, why do you think black folks sit at the top of those statistics? Do you think we want to purposely eat bad? Do you think we want to purposely be obese? Do you think we want to purposely have bad health? What are you talking about? Can you just think for a second before you just like talk, with your expensive shirt, with the expensive back setting, and just, got your legs crossed as if you're just like so tired of these people purposely wanting to eat bad? Like, come on. I don't understand this.
We shouldn't talk about that. You know why? Because it didn't have a t-shirt on it that said white lives matter. Talk about criminality. No one wants to talk about it if you're not talking about a police officer, right? People don't want to talk about the fact that black people are slaughtering other black people. People don't want to talk about black on black crime. It doesn't matter because we're doing it to ourselves, right? Just like we're aborting our own babies. Applaud it. In fact, put it in the music. Put the criminality in the music and celebrate it. Give it a Grammy.
Hey, the reason why people listen to that music, the reason why people produce that kind of music, because it reflects our reality. Now, I haven't heard a rapper talk about, eating poorly, but I'm just assuming they do. But people, just like poetry, just like authors, they write their perspective on reality. Look at James Baldwin. He writes his perspective on what he sees on a daily basis, what he's grew up in, what he's constantly having to deal with. We write, we express ourselves through art on what we naturally day by day basis see and experience. Do you not understand that? It's weird. It's weird to like really think about some things. It's like so foreign. I'm pretty sure like people would start having headaches if they just thought like 2 more minutes before they just turn on the camera and just start recording some nonsense. Take some notes, write some stuff down and think it through. Do you think these rappers are, they getting paid, but why do you think people can connect with it? Why do you think people can understand what they're talking about? Because they're living it. It's speaking to them. Oh, man.
Give black criminality a Grammy so that we understand that this is ours. Sit in the cool club, right? Now we know what it means to be black.
Sit in the cool club, right?
Be a traitor to your own race. Murder your own race. And if you don't do it in your womb, grab a gun. Kill the guy next to you. Applause all around the world. Per the CDC, African Americans are 4 times more likely to be killed by a gun than the overall population. And once again, it's not a white person that is pulling the trigger. It's another black person. Mm-hmm. We account for... You know what? I could believe that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to look that up. I can't really take her word for it. But if she's right, I think it's something worth our government looking into and trying to solve the problem, and not just pumping more police officers into our neighborhoods. It's more to it. Why are these black folks killing each other? I need to get that screen. But it's people are not just killing people just because they're bored. Now there's a lot of crazy folks, mentally disturbed folks. Yeah. I'm not saying that, white folks just kill because it's not. Black folks, white folks, everybody in between, they all have their corners of crazies. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about those folks. I'm talking about the people who are robbing folks and then that leads to murder. It's a reason why they're doing that. Selling drugs that leads to murder. It's a reason why they're doing that. Now, I don't condone it. I've never done that because I had people in my corner that love me, that weren't ashamed to tell me, hey, it's cool to get a job. It's cool to work that $12 an hour job. You gonna make it. Your day's gonna come. I had people that told me that. But unfortunately, not everybody has that. People don't want to live in poverty their whole life. They grow up seeing their parents struggling.
They see their friends, family struggling. They don't want that. People get desperate. People don't want to live a horrible, strenuous life week by week. They don't want this. So what are they going to do? They're going to take some money. They're going to get their money one way or another, which I understand. You know what I'm saying? If something happened to my job, my family going to eat. I'm going to have to make sure of that. You know what I'm saying? And if government and everybody else is shutting their doors, well, guess what? I'm going to have to kick down one. I'm going to have to kick somebody's door down. You know what I'm saying? So when people get desperate and they want a change, they want to like have some sort of sense of financial freedom, people will do some crazy things. You know what I'm saying? Now, is it right? Of course not. And when people sell drugs to my people, when they killing my people, when they robbing my people, when they doing my people dirty, yes, they belong in jail. And now, of course, the whole justice system is all screwed up. So they're only going to go to jail just to come back and just even be even more insane, because our justice system doesn't help people. It just contains them. And yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But let's try to get through this.
40% of all of the homicide offenders in the United States, 40% coming from the smallest piece of the population. We're talking about 7% of the population is.
Well, last time I looked, it was 13% of America is black people, and you're saying 40% of homicides is coming from one of the smallest portions of America. Let's figure that out. Let's try to come up with some solutions to prevent that from happening. Because on paper, if that's true, that doesn't add up. You can't square that circle. So let's try to figure it out. But I mean, we only got 4 minutes left in this video. I wonder if she's going to come up with some sensible solutions and not just vote for this person. Nah. I don't want that. I don't want policies that's only going to benefit people at the top. Nah, I don't want that. I don't want public assistance and government assistance being taken away from people. That doesn't make any sense, because they barely even got anything. Why take more from them? I don't want to hear that. I want to hear something that's going to benefit people at the bottom. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Help them out. I don't care if you got to give these folks money. The people who are sensible and responsible is going to do good with that money. But nah. We got to give tax breaks to the rich.
Black men, and they're accounting for 40% of all of the homicides in the United States. But let's not talk about that. In fact, let's call that racist to even acknowledge that truth. To talk about the ills in our own community, that's racism. Let's just move on for it. People love to talk about the incarceration rates, right? Because the incarceration rates allow you to understand the result without ever having to talk about the problem, right? You don't have to talk about the equation. I'll just give you the answer. Black men are incarcerated, right? It says here that there are nearly 5 times the rate of black men in prison than white people. Oh, perfect narrative. It must be racism. No, it has nothing to do with the fact that we're the most murderous group in America.
So when the statistics show that black people who get prosecuted for the same thing, for the same thing that white people get in trouble for, black folks have a higher sentence rate. Is that not factual? And it's just crazy and I guarantee she's not gonna come up with no solutions. She's just gonna keep continuing pushing out statistics that are probably true. You know, I mean, she's leaving some out, but she's not giving solutions to it. It says your views are why? What views is am I being a hypocrite about? I'm curious now, and like I said, I don't think she's gonna. I'm giving. 1 +1 = 2. I need some hope.
Or these wearing a White Lives Matter T-shirt. So who cares? Percent of all homicide offenders. They couldn't find a single child that was proficient in reading. None of that stuff, for whatever reason, resonates. No one's ever outraged. How dare you? How dare you? What a form of engaging in white supremacy on the streets, killing one another.
Wrong. Okay, so like I said, she's not giving no solutions. And even if it is solutions, like, I wish that, the government would invest in billions of dollars, not into organizations, because organizations can take advantage of the money, because we've seen it already, but actually take care of the issue. And I might have to just do a whole segment on some of the information that I have gathered on it possibly helping folks, and not just demonizing people and trying to laugh at people and have no sort of solutions after that. To me, that's being irresponsible with your platform. And I'm pretty sure she has millions of subscribers too. She's almost at 1 million. And this is all she's doing, is catering to a narrative that's, black people, they must not know how to act. They must not know how to live. You know what I'm saying? And that leads to my